5 o'clock. It is
Oh,
time.
and then there's the lag
for
happening
Mix
because
Monday.
the volume's going.
No, it just says I have that open.
Yeah, we'll just go ahead and close that, so that's not annoying. There we go. All right, we're moving on. We are in Monday time right now. It is Mix Monday. We are. Oh, we're the best. Yes, we are Mix Monday ready. I'm gonna get into the mood this week. I'll tell you why. Because I'm gonna start off with a story. During the pandemic, I started working with somebody, and they became the worst person to work with. Very nice, very pleasant, always good to be around. But goddamn, just have no respect for personal space or time or any of those things. And I worked with them today, and they made me very, very, very angry because everything gets rushed. I'm trying every Monday. I try to schedule Mix Monday to be super chill day. I just want to come in on Monday. I didn't even want to put pants on. You guys can't see below my sweatshirt. I could not wear pants, and no one would know I wasn't wearing pants. But I had to put pants on today. Do you have any idea how annoying that is when your day is like in your head, I'm not putting pants on, and then somebody makes you put pants on? Fucking disrespectful. So anyway, I had to put pants on today. I didn't like it. Now I'm in a bad mood about it. But I'm going to flip it all around because Mix Monday is about love. It's about generosity. It's about friendship. It's about sharing. It's about growing together. I guess. I don't know. I have no idea.
Stupid!
Yeah, that is stupid as fuck. I'm not going to lie. All right, so this week I decided, because I just didn't feel like doing anything and prepping in any way, shape, or form, that we would have a R&B vocals mixing session. And I'm going to go through basically what I would do with a session. Now, this is tricky because this session I recorded. So this is going to show up in a lot better condition than most sessions that you get from somebody who tracks on top of an MP3, which I'm pretty sure I did inside this session. I get it. It's not always going to be the best situation, you know? It's like we got to deal with some of the stuff that just kind of is what it is, right? It's like we're going to get shitty tracks from people. They're going to be fucked up. Fortunately, this is a pretty good one. And I'm going to do my best to kind of just run through it as quick as I can so that we can do this in an hour. Because, God, it is hard to talk about. I can mix a song in an hour. I don't know if I could talk about mixing a song in an hour. You know, it's like I could mix a song. I have a rule, right? Give me an hour, I'm good. Give me a day, I'm great. Give me a week, I'm unstoppable, right? It's like, give me time, and you will get the best shit you could possibly ever have. But most people are not very willing to share the time. They want everything. Everybody wants everything now. It's probably one of the most annoying things about the music industry, right? It's like, why do you need imaginary timelines? You're not on a label. Nobody is waiting for your record, but yet you need this as soon as possible every time. God, it's the fucking worst, isn't it? People are fucking dumb. All right. This song this week is by John Gatsby. I like John Gatsby. I just call him Gatsby. I don't know why I said John Gatsby, but Gatsby. And Gatsby did this song, and we were in with the producers when we were doing the song. But typically, whenever you do stuff like this, they'll send you like a bounce or something, and then we'll just like get the stems later and you don't really worry about it. And everything you can see in this track, I did all sorts of edits, which whenever I do get the actual stems, I will need to recreate these edits. There's a lot of beat drops and stuff like that. And then also looks like I probably made one section a chorus and one section a bridge and like chopped things up and moved them around, which is pretty normal for a tracking session. All right, I'll just play a little bit of this. I know it's in pretty good shape overall, so.
You can't blame it on me. I can change your life. I'm hydroplaning like it's raining on me. All this ice, don't blame it on me. Blame it on the wheel. Blame it on the sauce. Blame it on the drip. G5 is to take her on a trip. Had to put it down on her. Blame it on the deer. V12 double lock, got me speeding in the water. I've been swimming in the deep end. DR everything, do it for no reason. She looked back, do it at me like completion. Who knew we make a movie? She tryna be exclusive. That ain't me, sorry. Getting my money up, ain't tryna find love, no. Now she on me, ring, ring, she callin'. Hit you back in the morning, first class we gone. East St. Laurent, overseas we flaunting. Where the phones be roaming. You can't blame it on me. I can change your life. I'm hydroplaning like it's raining on me. All this ice, don't blame it on me, no. Don't blame it on me. Don't blame it on me, no. Don't blame it on me. When I ride, it's pleasant.
All right, so we are now on Mix Monday, and we're going to start talking about what's going on here. So, just looking at it, I can basically look at my own stuff really simply and always tell what's going on. It's really easy for me to, like, forensically, like, break down my own shit because I do things, even though over here I'm being an asshole and not naming tracks properly and saying what the fuck they are because it looks like I just started duplicating whatever the hell got me through the day, right? I can still look at all this and pretty much tell everything that's going on. Why does this already sound amazing? Because I recorded it and I did the mix while I was recording it. Like, that's the thing that I always talk. This is a tracking rough, right? What we are looking at right here, this is a tracking rough. This is what I recorded and was like, yeah, that's good enough for today. I'll fix it later whenever I mix it. If you start with the right shit and you start at the top from the very beginning, of course it's gonna sound good. Like, I'm doing all the stuff that is required to make a good mix as I'm doing it. And this is why I often, you'll see me get kind of like a little bit, I don't know, like chip on my shoulder, I guess is the way to look at it, is like, I have a little bit of a chip on my shoulder. Sorry, I just like that button, you know? I have a little bit of a chip on my shoulder about the way that people talk about mixers, as though mixers are always the one that like saved the song. That's the way they look at it. Is like, oh yeah, it was like whatever, but then the mixer got it, and like, oh man, like wow, he really did a job there. And the reality is like, if your vocal engineer, if your tracking engineer is good, right? If the dude that starts all this shit is good, your mix engineer is doing nothing. I'm not handing off stuff to other mixers, being like, good luck, bro. I hope you can make this good. I'm doing the mix. Like I outboard gear commit as far as like depending on what I'm doing. But yeah, I'll also throw plugins. But you can look at this. Look at this right here. There is nothing going on in this session, right? Let's zoom in and talk about. So it sounds good, right? Look what's on these tracks, right? Where are these things going? This is going to Vox Lead. What's on Vox Lead? 3 plugins. An EQ, a compressor, and a limiter. And then a reverb and 2 delays. Right? There's not a lot going on here. What's going on in the EQ? Looks like I'm pushing a little bit of that presence area, a little bit of the top end, rolling off the low end. Nothing particularly amazing about that. The compression, I mean, we can look and see, but I'm guaranteeing I'm not doing anything crazy there.
Don't blame it on me, blame it on the whim. Blame it on the sauce, blame it on the drip. G550 took her on a trip. Had to put it down on her, blame it on the deer.
Nothing particularly interesting about that. And just a limiter on the end. And as I have said many times, I use this limiter, this L1, it's a volume control for me. Like, this is just here to overall, if I need to smash a little bit more at the end of the vocal to get it crispy the right way, or if I need it to be louder, that's what this does. This isn't some sort of like brilliant move or anything. One of my homies showed me this. He's like, yeah, anytime whenever I'm recording somebody, if they're like, yeah, it needs to be something, I just put the threshold down a little bit more, and usually they like that. And I was like, huh. And then I tried it, and it worked every time. So now I just put an L1 on every single track every time I'm recording. So lead vocal, we saw, not much going on there. Here's the Vox hook, is all this blue stuff here, and it looks like I'm also doing some no, all Vox. No, there is some doubles on here too. I know sometimes when I'm tracking, if I have something that's doing the same thing in, say, the hook as the verse, like this is going to be doubles no matter where I'm at, I just threw this on as doubles. I'll fix it later. I know I can fix it later. It'll be totally fine. But for now, I'll just leave it right there and be fine with it. I might leave it there the whole time, because if it's fine, it's fine. But usually I like the customization of having something else going on there. And then all these tracks, where are these going? These are going to Vox lead. So it looks like I had some doubles going on here. Again, I know I'm just going to figure this out. I'll just figure this out at the end. I'll just, like, when I'm mixing this, it'll be fine. I'm sending things to alike things, so I'm like, this will be fine. But that's going to be a lot of what we deal with this mix, is just splitting things out, doing some customization, swapping out some plugins, because, again, it sounds great. I shouldn't be reinventing this wheel. This is not a wheel you reinvent. You take what you got on this and go, it's pretty good. All right, cool. So what can I make it better? The only thing I'm not going to really touch is this 2-track, because there's not really any point in doing it right now. I will get stems, and I'll have to kind of remix this whole 2-track, and it will make some, like, adjustments during the process. But as long as I get the vocals all done, I'll probably be fine. Something to keep in mind, I do believe, it looks like I melodined this already, which is very helpful. Thank you, old me. I am constantly, when I'm working on stuff, I think this is a hilarious thing that happens. When I'm working on projects, I'm never doing anything for really the artist or anything. I am only doing stuff to save future me more headaches. Like, I'm always trying to save future me headaches. So a lot of the process I do is just me trying to, keep myself from being screwed over in the future. Clearly felt like I needed to melodyne this to get through the day, so I did. All right, so first thing I'm going to do, I'm not really going to worry about the lead vocal because it's all by itself, but I am going to start splitting things out on tracks to be more independent. And I'll make new tracks for things and just kind of, make good decisions across the whole thing. As part of that is, like, stuff like this, where I'm figuring out where all these are all doubles. These look like doubles everywhere. These are doubles. This looks like a specific stack thing. This can go to its own thing. Yep, that's all going to Vox lead. All right, so often I have this question in my head, and this is a philosophy thing, right? You get a session from somebody to mix. Do you get rid of all their shit and start fresh, or do you try and take what they had and make it better? Because this is one of the most perplexing things to ever deal with, because everybody who has ever mixed a song that somebody else started has been in this situation where they're like, okay, I just want to pull this one little thread, and then the next thing you know, you unraveled a monster, right? And you're like, oh, why did I unravel this thread? Now I have to go back through. I remember one time I was, like, taking over for another engineer, and he had, like, triple bust things to, like, multiple different things, and, like, he clearly did not understand the purpose of buses or how buses worked. So he was, like, bussing from a bus to a bus with, like, reverbs and stuff like that. It was very strange. And I looked at it and was like, dang, what do I do here? Because this sounds bad, but the artist likes the concept. So I kind of have to keep this going and figure out how to make this work while still maintaining this stupidity that's happening here and getting my system to work inside of it. And that is, I mean, it's the ultimate question, Sometimes my answer, like, I'm going to take a listen to this, and this is probably my answer for this one.
Swimming out in Calabasas. Swimming out in Calabasas.
So here's the thing. This is a stack of shit, and I promise I am never going to adjust this in any way in terms of balance. This is a prime candidate for just bouncing that. Bounce that shit. Import after bounce. Offline. Bam. Bounce. When that comes back in, let's put it at the selection. Bam. And let's hide and make inactive all this stuff. I just took care of a whole routing problem in 3 seconds. Done. I don't have to make any adjustments to this. I'm done. I figured it all out. And it's going to sound exactly the same. I mean, it might be a little bit louder now because it's hitting this. I probably should have undone the master limiting. But knowing me, I probably wasn't doing much. Yeah, 1.8, it's not a big deal. Nothing really particularly special happening here. So, now let's hear it.
Then I'm swimming out in Calabasas.
Cool, it's a little loud. Let's just pull it down.
Then I'm swimming out in Calabasas. Who knew we made?
Done. All right. I am facing a little bit of a consequence of having done this in that it is a little bit more sibilant in that section. But I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I don't need to even give a shit about that. I'm going to go ahead and just...
Then I'm swimming out in Calabasas.
I'll tell you what you don't need in backgrounds is S's and T's. Ever. Almost ever do you need S's or T's in your backgrounds. You can almost always DS them to the maximum amount and they will be perfect because the lead is doing all the S's. And in today's day and age with compression the way it is, you do not need any help with the S's. They are going to be prominent in the main lead. Now, the other doubles, I'm going to start going through these and analyzing them individually because there's some different stuff happening here. This is verse stuff. I'm going to call this new track aux input verse doubles. Bam. Now, I'm going to take this. This was previously going out the Vox lead. I'm going to take this right down to where the Vox lead is. Also, I am going to undo this fucking preference right now. It's going to fuck me up hard. But we are changing this to track type because I cannot stand when my auxes are not this ugly olive green color. This is how I know it's an aux. I don't make anything else this color. I would never use this color for anything else. It is an aux. Now, luckily, because I had colored all that stuff, it didn't do it too crazy. So it looks like it's in pretty good shape. All right, my verse doubles. I was copying this off of this Vox lead track. So I'm just going to copy over what I had from this as a starting point because it already sounded good, right? There's no reason to like reinvent the wheel or anything. I just want individual control over it. Now, I'm going to reinvent the wheel on a few things after I do all this stuff. But for right now, I'm basically just like reappropriating all the bullshit. I'm putting it all in like a better place so that I can fuck with it better, and that's the important part for me. You know, there's no reason that this ad-lib track should be going to the Vox lead. This should be its own thing. We're going to call this ad-libs. Bam. Now, same concept though. It was already, I mean, I wasn't hearing it at all, but it sounded fine or whatever, so I can copy over the same stuff again from this main track as a starting point. We're going to come back. We're going to adjust on this stuff, but I just don't want it to disappear in the meantime. So I'm going to just do that. So I got my lead doubles. Now at the same time, I said I'm covering for myself right now because all this was trash before. I'm going to recolor some of these tracks to correspond better with what's going on. These guys go with these guys. They should chill with these guys. These guys here also seem to be stuff that should go with this guy. Even though they say ad-libs, they look like doubles. So let's go ahead and hear them.
Swimming out in Calabasas.
Sure sounds like doubles.
Make a movie. She trying to be exclusive. That ain't me, sorry. Getting my money up and trying to find love. Don't know. Now she on me, ring,
Actually,
ring,
sounds
she
like
calling. Hit you back in the morning. First
harmonies.
ain't tripping. Been winning, you lose.
Some of them are doubles and some of them are harmonies. So that is interesting. We're going to go ahead and just throw them into the doubles track anyways. That's probably fine. They can process the same. Now, easy way to do that, select them both, shift option, DBL Vox, verse doubles right there, bam. You just start typing what a part of the name and it'll show up eventually. That's why I do things the same all the time, is so that I can do that. I am going to rename these and call these double harm. Command A, Command C, next. Why is there so much water right here on my desk? This is a problem. We need to have a conversation about how my keyboard got so wet in the last 10 minutes. Command V, we'll call this double harm B. Bam, okay. And, whoa, everybody's so fucking dangerous over here. We'll shut my door, because everybody's loud all the time everywhere else I go. All right. Yeah, we'll get some ozone and soothe on here. That sounds like me. All right. So now let's circle back over here. Bam. God, I'm like one day going to figure out the way. There's like probably like an arm. There's like an arm attachment that I need to have so that camera doesn't move all over. And who cares? Fuck you guys. I don't care. That's what we're on. We're on fuck you guys. I don't care. Whatever happened? Wait, didn't I just? Oh, yeah, they're right there. Okay, all right, so we're going to do that. We named them. We're going to color them different as well because I like to color things different. I'm a color coding ass motherfucker, man. It's like, keep them in the same place. We know what they are. I don't need them to be, I just need them to coordinate properly. It makes me angry when they don't. So we come down here. This looks like our chorus. It looks like, from what I'm seeing, this is our chorus lead. This is our chorus doubles. And that is, it looks like an alt line chorus. So that goes like that. And those are those doubles. Looks like they were overlapping. Okay, so let's change these to be this. No, I like blue, but let's change it to a different blue. And this is Vox Hook, and let's leave that. And then let's leave all of these guys to be new track, Vox Hook doubles. Bam. Now, truthfully, it does make you look kind of stupid whenever you say Vox Hook doubles because there's like 12 of them there, and they can't be doubles by, the science of math or whatever, English, how we speak, or I don't know what I'm going for here. You guys get the point. Like, they can't technically be doubles if there's 12 of them, but I'm still going to call them doubles. Oh, cool, and a napkin. Now we're really winning. All right. So, whoa. I just keep kicking this camera. I don't care. It's like my girlfriend's the only one watching on TikTok right now. Who gives a shit? I have a no drink on desk rule. I have a always drink on desk rule. I have a don't you dare put nothing on my desk unless it's an alcoholic beverage. All right. Signal flow before you hit Pro Tools. The microphone, I remember I was using the Telefunken TF51, which I like a lot. It's a great microphone. Of the current things that I like in the world, the TF51 and my Lewitt Audio tube mics are my two favorite tube mics that I own. They're really great. The pre, I would guess, was probably a Neve, and I would guess the compressor was 1176. Or a CL1B? I don't know, man. If I listened to it dry, I bet you I could figure it out. I could tell you. Dry, Vox lead. Let's see if I can guess.
G550 took her on a trip. Had to put it down on her, blame it on a deer. Double lock got me speeding in the water. I've been swimming in the deep end. DR everything, do it for no reason. She looked back, threw it at me like I'm pleased.
It's an 1176. It's an 1176 for sure. I just I don't really care because it's all just isn't it kind of arbitrary, right? Like, I know what things sound like. I know what they sound like when you put them together. But engineering isn't about what you have. It's about, or what you want. It's about what you have, right? It's like, I don't give a shit about where I go to record something. As long as they have functioning equipment, I don't care what it is. It doesn't matter to me at all. I'll use anything. But it's like, if they give me some options, then I'll pick what's best for the person and all the stuff. But the reality is like, you can't even know, unless you've worked with somebody forever, you can't even know what somebody sounds like through all the stuff, you know? I've had people, oh yeah, they sound great on this microphone. I have people, oh, they sound awful on this microphone. But even when they sound awful on the microphone, I'm still going to make them sound good. That's the job, right? All right, so back to this. I got all this stuff routed to, I just did a Vox Hook doubles. Again, same thing that I've been doing. I'm going to drop all this stuff down because I want to start with basically the same thing that they've been having on them, right? And then I can start customizing. Are you routing them all out to separate tracks because of processing power and ease? I'm routing them all out to separate tracks for control and for sonic sculpting, right? Hook doubles are going to be compressed and EQ'd differently than verse doubles. The intent of a double on a verse is different than the intent on a double on a chorus. On a chorus, the point is to make a big old symphony of vocals most of the time. On the verse, it's supposed to just feel like a vibe, right? It's just a vibe on the verse. You're not trying to do big giant stacks of vocals on, unless that was the intent. If that was the intent, I would have done more than two. But on the chorus, you can tell, like, I intended to have more doubles and more vocals going on than that. So I want this to be a stack of vocals. I'm going to route these all differently because I want them to sound differently. I'm going to do different things with these than I am with these. Just naturally. It's just the way it goes. All right, so here's this weird double that I just printed. That's fine. It can stay where it's at. Vox DO2. Let's find out what this is. This looks like an ad lib. Woo! A woo. We'll leave it in the vocal lead. I don't really particularly give a shit about that. It's not a big deal. All right. So let's come down here. Let's look at what else is going on. Some BGVs here. What are you guys doing?
Hold the keys up, G-Wagon star.
Interesting. A very different thing going on there. Why is this on? I didn't do that. When did I do that? It's weird. Oh, I shut that all off to here. I was like, when did I do that shit? Like 3 seconds ago, you moron. I have a lot of these moments while I'm working where I want you guys to understand something about me. I am just as likely to call all of you morons as I am to call myself a moron while I'm working. I will look at things that I did and be like, what in the fuck were you up to, you fucking clown, you lazy bitch? I will do that to myself all the time. I will see something I did. Like right now, I'm looking at this session, and this session is all Vox 1 Dupe 102. This is the thing I yell at people about all the time. I yell at people about this shit all the time. And yet I'll do it to myself. But also I knew I was going to be mixing this. So I was like, I don't care. If I knew someone else was going to be mixing something, or at least thought someone else was going to, I wouldn't have done all this business, right? I wouldn't have gotten all Vox Dupe 7.0 Adlib 902 bullshit, you know? I would have done this correctly from Jump Street. But because this client specifically is a friend of mine and somebody I've known for a long time and somebody who asked me to do everything, produce, engineer, mix everything, like I do all the stuff, I know that I can fuck myself if I need to. Hey man, you know, sometimes you just gotta fuck yourself. It's fine. You know, sometimes you just ain't in the mood to be doing all the work, and you know you're just punishing yourself later. I said earlier, sometimes I help myself. Sometimes I help future me. Sometimes I punish future me. It happens. We do what we gotta do, right? It is what it is. All right, so I'm gonna look around some more stuff. I might start expanding things even more. Like I'm seeing some things that are potential issues for the future.